Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming to this event today. My name is Carter Ward, and I serve as Executive Director of the Missouri School Boards Association, but I'm also representing the Coalition for Missouri's Future this morning. We have over 40 groups, various interests joining together in that coalition, and all of us are committed to making sure that the governor's override, or the governor's veto of House Bill 253 is sustained. So I want to thank you all for coming, and I would first of all like to introduce our president-elect of the Missouri School Boards Association, Mr. Doug Whitehead, who is not only president-elect of MSBA, but he's also a sitting board member here in Jefferson City, Missouri. So Doug, welcome.
Thank you, Carter. We should have more time to practice our comments since he's already introduced me. So good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. Again, my name is Doug Whitehead, and I serve on the Jefferson City Public Schools Board of Education, and I'm very proud to be president-elect of MSBA. Over the last several years, I've had the opportunity to meet several school board members throughout our great state and work with them on the board, and I'm proud of that time. I'm proud of our mission, which our mission is to help school boards succeed. And in keeping with that mission, we seek continuous improvement in everything we do. Today, as is Carter, I'm also representing the Coalition for Missouri's Future, a group of more than 40 organizations that have come together to oppose efforts to reduce state revenue available to fund our public schools and other critical state services. Later this week, members of the Missouri General Assembly may face a vote that will largely determine our state's commitment to nearly 900,000 public school students in our state for many years to come. I'm referring to the attempt to override the veto of House Bill 253. Should it take effect, this bill will devastate state services such as early childhood and K-12 education. When fully implemented, the bill will cost Missourians at least $800 million. The revenue reductions resulting from this legislation will adversely affect not just the quality of education we provide to our children, but also the quality of life we enjoy in this state. Again, in keeping with our mission, we don't believe House Bill 253 helps us. There are simply too many unknowns. We are not against reform, quite the contrary. We seek continuous improvement. However, Missouri schools are already feeling the squeeze from recent budget years. Public schools in the state are already underfunded by $600 million according to the legislature's own funding targets. Who is willing to guess what House Bill 253 may do? Should House Bill 253 force additional funding cuts, and we believe it will, there will be teacher layoffs, overcrowded classrooms, and longer bus rides to and from school. This bill has a potential to halt technology upgrades, eliminate many after-school activities such as sports programs, and limit the variety of classes available to Missouri students. If this bill becomes law, our children will face a competitive disadvantage as a result of the state's disinvestment in their education. House Bill 253 also threatens the investments we need to make in early childhood education. Popular programs that study after study have shown to be successful, like First Steps, Parents as Teachers, could easily end up on the chopping block in the near future. The legislation will also likely shelve recent efforts to fund preschool for all children in Missouri. More than 108 school boards, which represents more than 750 elected school board members throughout our state, have passed resolutions opposing the override of House Bill 253. This speaks volumes about the concerns our locally elected school boards have about this harmful bill. They understand this bill represents a setback in our commitment to our students in their communities and throughout the state. The tax cuts contained in this bill are likely to have little, if any, impact on economic growth. We are already a low-tax state. But the tax cuts and resulting revenue reduction are likely to have a significant and long-term, long-lasting impact on our state's ability to provide quality schools and ultimately the educated workforce we need for genuine economic prosperity. In the remaining hours before the possible vote to override the veto of this bill, we will continue to communicate and educate members of the General Assembly about the harm this bill will do to our state. We implore them to stand up for public education and vote no on the override attempt. Thank you.
Our third speaker this morning is Reverend Dr. Cassandra Gould, pastor of Quinn Chapel AME Church right here in Jefferson City, Missouri. And Doctor, it's great to have you with us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you for this opportunity. Not only do I represent one of the oldest churches in Jefferson City, we just celebrated 163 years. Being African Methodist Episcopal, we are the oldest denomination in the United States to be started by people of color. Part of our mission is to serve the needy, and that includes the most vulnerable of our society. And as I look at House Bill 253, I see it as a really glossy piece of material that looks great on the surface. When we hear tax cut, we get excited about that. But underneath that is really too many strings attached, and those strings are designed to unravel the very fabric of the lives of the most vulnerable of our society. That is the elderly and our children. We live in a state that, particularly in our larger cities on the East End and the West End, being St. Louis and Kansas City, that many of our districts have lost accreditation. How dare we spend more money on anything in this state other than education? And if we are deciding that we refuse to continue to give our children the quality of education that they deserve, that they need, then we're deciding that we really don't want our state to prosper at all. So I stand on behalf of Missouri Faith Voices and a constituency of those that are most vulnerable in our society, saying we must uphold Governor Nixon's veto to House Bill 253. Thank you.